Hey guys, this is Mike Chen. Halloween is coming up soon, so we're getting into more of the scary topics, and we'll start with this. Haunted or cursed places where strange supernatural phenomena take place are typically the foundation of a vast assortment of novels and movies in the horror genre that exist today. From novels like Stephen King's Salem Lot to the film classic like Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead, the plots of scary fictional tales with this kind of common theme are sometimes even set in towns and villages that actually exist in the real world. These existing locations are believed by many to be haunted by ghosts or cursed by powerful and malevolent unearthly beings. So here are 5 towns and villages around the world that are supposedly cursed. Number 1, from the United Arab Emirates, the Al Jazeera Al Hamra. Once a prosperous fishing village located in the northeastern edge of the United Arab Emirates, Al Jazeera Al Hamra used to be filled with antiquated houses that date back to the ancient times and was once an active coastal area where various trade transactions took place. But for some reason, around 1968, the residents of the village collectively abandoned their homes. While many of these previous inhabitants still have ownership over some of the land in the village, very few of their descendants continue to live there. It was around the 1960s when rumors of the village being haunted started to gain ground among UAE citizens. Many believe that the village is home to several djinns, or genies, and these aren't the lovable Aladdin kind that grants you 3 wishes. These are terrifying supernatural creatures in Arabian and Islamic mythologies. These djinns in particular are evil beings that feed on human flesh. Because of the dark tales surrounding the village, it has become a popular tourist spot for those who enjoy ghost hunting and thrill seeking and possibly be eaten by evil spirits. Number 2, the Cinco Saltos in Argentina. Located in the rural region of Rio Negro, the city of Cinco Saltos is also notoriously known as the city of witches due to reports of rampant presence of black magicians, necromancers, and witches in the area. One infamous story about this old city involves its large cemetery where a body of a 12-year-old girl was supposedly found while workers renovated the area. Despite the fact that the girl was dead for about 70 years, the girl's body is well preserved due to mummification. Some even say that her body was tied to her coffin, leading superstitious residents of the city to suggest that the girl was used as a sacrifice in an occult ritual conducted by one of the hidden covens in the city. There are also reports of seeing the ghost of a young girl roaming around the cemetery. Another terrifying tale said to have taken place there involves the Pellegrini Lake, where many child sacrifices were purportedly performed by the resident witches. This is supported by reports from visitors hearing eerie shrieks of young kids when they passed through the lake's crossing at night. Some crazy people even tried to locate the source of these unnerving screams, but they always ended up unsuccessful. Lucky for them. I don't even know what's worse, going to a really creepy place where there should be no children and hearing a child scream or hearing a child cry. Number 3, the Dargavas in Russia. This village is creepy because it is more popularly known as, well, the City of the Dead, and it is regarded as among the most enigmatic locations in Russia, hidden somewhere in the Caucasus Mountains in southern Russia. If you're looking at the site from a distance, it may seem like a regular hill village with crude houses, but in reality, Dargavas is no ordinary village. It is actually an ancient necropolis built around the Middle Ages. People of the Osetian or Iranian tribe erected these house-looking crypts to bury their family members in, and today there are currently around 100 stone crypts in the area, and some of them contain scattered bones. Nowadays, many of the residents who reside on the mountains steer clear of the necropolis due to a local legend warning that those who visit the tombs in Dargavas would end up receiving a curse that supposedly drives them to an early grave. Now, it also doesn't help that the area is covered in fog most of the time, so a creepy graveyard, lots of fog, yeah, don't go there. Number 4, the Canewdon in England. Located in East Anglia, Canewdon is often referred to as the witch country of England, as there are a lot of unverified superstitious tales surrounding this village, particularly, well, about witchcraft. There was once a prophecy made by a famous cunning man from the 19th century named James Murrell about Canewdon, saying that the area would be doomed to be infested with witches forever. This makes sense in a way since the village has been the subject of witch lore since the 16th century. There's also a legend which states that each instance that a stone drops from the tower of St. Nicholas Church, a witch will perish only to have another take her place. So I don't know, maybe go up to the church and just start throwing rocks everywhere? Another legend claims that should a person run counterclockwise around the church or one of the tombs found in its courtyard during Halloween, ghosts, witches, or even the devil would appear. Now, more than the legends, what's really tragic about the village of Canewdon was the fact that it was the site of many witch trials and executions that resulted in the suffering and demise of many people during the 16th and 17th centuries. Among the more notable magicians who came from Canewdon include George Pinkel, a black magician heralded as one of the world's primary authority on witchcraft and Satanism during the early 20th century. Finally, number 5, the Bhangar in India. Regarded as the most haunted site in India, the ruins of the city of Bhangar was once a stronghold of the Mughal Empire during the 16th century until the empire weakened by the early 19th century. However, it was the famine of 1783 that drastically diminished the human population in the city, and since then it has remained largely uninhabited. The fort of Bhangar is full of temples and palaces, but despite its breathtaking sight, the city today is nothing more than an abandoned ghost town. In fact, even now, entry to the city between sunset and sunrise is prohibited, and outsiders are even warned against entering the city by the Archaeological Survey of India. There is even a legend circulating in the region that anyone who dares to visit the ghost city at night is fated to remain trapped inside the city's ruins for eternity. Nevertheless, thousands of people have visited the city at night every single year, either because they don't believe in the curse or they want to see for themselves if it's real. I call these people pretty stupid. Yeah, let's go see if this place is really cursed. And if I'm wrong, it's only eternal damnation. Anyway, as for why the city is cursed, one story tells of a holy man called Baba Banath who gave his permission for people to construct the town so long as the buildings they erected did not cast a shadow over his residence. If they did, he would punish the people by destroying the city. A descendant prince, however, violated this rule, leading Banath to curse the entire town. Another tale speaks of a wizard called Singhia who fell in love with the princess of Bhangar named Radnavati, and to make the princess love him, Singhia cast a spell on a fragrance purchased by one of the princess's attendants. However, the princess saw through the plan and caused the magician's death. Before he took his last breath, Singhia cursed the city, prophesying that people would soon abandon the city completely. So Kripo couldn't get the girl, decided to curse the whole city. Now, if they had dating apps back then, this would never have happened. Of course, there's no way to tell if all these old towns and villages from different parts of the world are actually cursed. But spooky tales and legendary curses connected with these old sites are really what kind of makes these places more interesting for many of us, which is why some people go and see for themselves, which I strongly advised against. I mean, I'm a lover of haunted places and I love seeing haunted houses from a distance in the daylight. And I feel like ghost hunters, they're just asking for trouble because I 100% believe in ghosts. And I really think that and Ouija boards and cursed objects, you don't mess with those things. It's just not worth it. What is the payoff? You get to tell a story that creeps everybody out at dinner? Like, hey, I drink out of that cursed cup and I'm still alive. No, if you drink out of a cursed cup, you're just not dead yet. Anyway, my point is, don't mess with cursed things. Don't mess with haunted things. And if you want to go see haunted sites, go in the daytime, go when the sun is out, and go with like 100 other people. And make sure you can run faster than some of them. All right, guys, thank you all so much for watching this video. I'll see you later.